folks. The long wait is over. The regular season is here, and your Golden State Warriors are going to be playing the Los Angeles Lakers Tuesday night. Chances are you're watching this on a Tuesday. I'm recording live. So apologies to catch some folks off guard. I imagine our chat's going to fill up in just a second here. Maybe not. Who knows? It is pretty late on a Monday night that I'm recording this, but nonetheless, most of you will likely be viewing, listening to this the day of, with tip-off at 7 p.m. in Los Angeles at Crypto. It's Warriors, it's Lakers. Let's preview that game and just catch up. It's Monday. It's Monday night. Welcome to the program. Yes, I thought I had all my bases covered, and it just occurred to me I've not updated the show open yet. That will be cleaned up in time for the first show of the season, and that is tomorrow night, immediately following Warriors-Lakers. But let's have some fun. Got some sound bites from Steve Kerr. Got some sound bites, excuse me, from Draymond Green as we preview the Warriors and the Lakers. Who's starting? What can you expect from rotations? What's FanDuel got in store for the lines? Side note, FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Golden Days and the Believe Network. Oh, I'm giddy, folks. Basketball's back, and this is the Golden Days.
They always find something to nitpick, and that's because there's expectations for us to win. Leave me alone this summer.
Let's go. In a minute, I'ma need a sentimental man or woman to pump me up.
Oh, yeah. I think my Warriors are going to be highest this year. Feel good about them. Welcome to the Golden Days. My name is Cyrus Saatsaz. I'm your host for the evening. You follow me on Threads and Instagram at Dog Wild. Over on Twitter, my handle is at Surf Journalist. The program on both platforms at Golden Days Pod. Real quickly here, a new world is happening in our chat. Is asking about Jonathan Kuminga. Is he going to play tomorrow? Si, senor. It's happening. Yeah, Jonathan Kuminga is going to play. Jimmy Butler is going to play. We're going to hear from Steve Kerr in just a moment about what to expect in game one. Let's really quickly, before we dive into this, show some love to our sponsors and more specifically, DeleteMe, an unbelievable service if you're trying to scrub your digital footprint and if you're trying to just protect yourself in this toxic digital scene that exists where thieves are everywhere. People are trying to get you with your past conduct. DeleteMe makes it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everyone vulnerable. Data brokers make a profit off your data. Your data is a commodity. Anyone on the web can buy your private details. This can lead to identity theft, phishing attempts, and harassment. We don't want that. But now you can protect your privacy with DeleteMe. Take control of your data, protect yourself, and keep your private life private by signing up for DeleteMe now. At a special discount for our listeners, get 20% off your DeleteMe plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/pro and use the promo code PRO, P-R-O, at checkout. The only way to get that 20% discount at checkout is to go to joindeleteme.com/pro and use the promo code PRO, P-R-O. You're getting a theme here, right? At checkout. One more time, that's joindeleteme.com/pro and make sure you use the promo code PRO for 20% off at checkout. Welcome to the program once again. My name is Cyrus Saatsaz, and the Golden State Warriors season tips off. I was about to say kicks off, but like that's either a football or a soccer reference. It tips off, and the folks over at FanDuel, in case you're wondering what the line is for this game tomorrow, have the Warriors as your favorites at Cryptocurrency Arena. Is that what they call that place? I can't get over the name Crypto. Shardal is saying, what is up? Happy belated birthday to you, brother. I'll give you the link in a little bit. Yes, I'll invite some people on the show soon. And doing okay. It's a late start for the show. Didn't realize how much I was lagging. I also need to get a haircut, like desperately. Yeah, Shardal, I'll invite you on a little bit. I want to take care of some sound bites first. I also want to show some love to our sponsor, FanDuel, and more specifically, what line their sportsbook is setting for this Warriors-Lakers game. And again, they set this line in the middle of summer, which I thought was insane. Awesome, but crazy because so much changes from mid-July to what is now mid-October for tip-off of the NBA season. And you could have bet on this game like 2 months ago. And I was telling you folks back then, bet on the Warriors. I don't know if I don't have a strong recommendation for the current line. Back when the Lakers were 3-point favorites, I love the Warriors. And I love the Warriors either +3 or with the money line. But with LeBron James being out indefinitely with that sciatic nerve issue that's supposedly affecting half his body, he's out. And that immediately changed the line. And now the Warriors are 2-point favorites. LeBron James's absence represents a 5-point swing according to the bookies, and your Warriors are favored by 2. The Lakers money line, if you want to bet on that, is +116. The OU 225.5. I like that OU. That's probably, if I like anything in terms of what the bookies are offering for game one, it is that OU. I think there'll be enough points scored to hit 225.5. So 226 and higher would be the winner for the over. And that's courtesy of FanDuel. Again, the leading number one, the most kick-ass sportsbook ever, right? I don't even know what the official tagline is, but it doesn't matter. They're just insane. And Shardal, buddy, you're saying you bet 100 on the Lakers, or I'm sorry, on the Warriors to beat the Lakers. I like that bet. I think you're gonna do okay. Mr. Fox in our chat saying that he has the Warriors beating the Lakers by 1.5. You mean covering a 1.5 point spread? Yeah, because they literally can't beat them by a half point. That scoring option does not exist. What I wanted to do for tonight's show, though, is just kind of, put the feeler out there with the audience in terms of how everyone's feeling with the season finally here. Again, Tuesday night, NBC, which hasn't covered the NBA since, I believe, 2002. I grew up watching, and what did I just say? Please forgive me for the confusion. I meant NBC. NBC has the NBA back in terms of a rights holder, and I grew up watching NBC cover the NBA. All those, look, the Warriors were not relevant for most of that, but didn't mean the product did not disappoint. It was entertaining. It was fun, whether it was Showtime in the 80s, and I think CBS was in the mix in the 80s, but in the 90s, you might as well have called NBC the Michael Jordan Network because he owned that place. And instead of Jordan nowadays, it's Steph, and it's going to be on NBC. So 7 p.m. is the tip-off, a nationally televised broadcast. We're looking forward to that. But I want to listen or take a listen, rather, to a couple of important individuals pertaining to the Golden State Warriors. And let's start with Steve Kerr. And this is a long one, but I want to thank Ryan Leong and his Various Sports Rap organization. They're doing what no one else is, which is actually recording press conferences that follow practice. The Warriors sometimes post clips that the media can use, but not always. But Various Sports Rap has set up a camera, and they're recording every one of these press conferences. And kudos to them because it gives folks like me some content. And this is going to be a long clip, but it's juicy. What I mean by juicy is it's got a lot of intricate detail from the head coach, the shot caller of the Golden State Warriors, Steve Kerr. And in this clip, he details his mindset on rotations, like what goes into what he decides in terms of a player playing or not playing. Why does he make decisions when it comes to lineups, stuff like that. So let's hear from Steve Kerr. This was earlier today following team practice. It was a mild practice, meaning they didn't go full steam. They did practice, but they were playing half court. I think Steve Kerr is going to allude to that in this clip. And let's take a listen.
Ready to play heavy minutes.
Hall of Fame head coach. I don't know what that means in the NBA. I feel like they just give out Hall of Fame inductions to almost anybody. Maybe I'm being mean here. Forgive me. Nonetheless, here is the future Hall of Famer Steve Kerr talking about his mindset when it comes to rotations, and then we'll talk about it.
This time last year, you were pretty comfortable going like 12 deep early on in the season. Obviously, depth is another strength for you guys this year, but do you want to have it more towards 9, 10 early on, or do you look to extend it towards 11, 12 already in early rotations?
Well, I think, we have 3 games in 4 nights to start the year, and I don't think many of our guys are ready to play heavy minutes in a 3 and 4 situation. So we will definitely lean on our bench this first week. We have a lot of decisions to make. I love our depth. We've got a lot of guys who can play, but the combinations are everything. And so, Al won't play in the back-to-back. We've announced that already. He's not going to play in any back-to-backs all year. So that changes the rotation for, one of those 2 games, depending on which one we choose Al for. But it goes way beyond that. It'd be great to have Al and JK together, for example, for the spacing offensively. Certain guys we like to have on the floor with Steph. Gary's at his best with Steph and setting screens and diving.
I'm going to pause it right there because Kerr revealed quite a few things there. For starters, and this was not breaking news. I think we've known this for at least 24 hours, that Al Horford, following the same pattern that he was following with the Celtics in terms of preserving and maintaining his health, physically speaking. And what I mean by that is, as Steve Kerr just alluded there, Al Horford will not be playing in back-to-backs. And this is going to present an opportunity for players like Quinton Post, maybe Trace Jackson Davis, to get more of a run. And I also was intrigued by him focusing on Al Horford and Jonathan Kuminga. This is something that he mentioned at the start of training camp in terms of what he's interested in seeing, what he likes as a pairing. And then there's the GP2 part. And we've known this for a while, but for whatever reason, Stephen Curry has found comfort on the basketball court when GP2 is beside him, whether it's for hard screens that he's setting. He's going to use an interesting word here, and I'm curious if you folks will pick it up. But anyways, we'll continue on. But I just thought it was interesting that we now know for certain Al Horford will not be playing back-to-backs. We know that Steve Kerr is riveted with the pairing of Al Horford and Jonathan Kuminga, meaning expect those two to be on the court together for significant runs this season. And GP2 is a Steph favorite. Now, some of the things that he says about GP2, again, take a listen because at least one thing was curious to me anyways. Let's continue on with Steve Kerr.
Some teams, some years, you spend 5 minutes on the rotation, you see it, it's clear as day, and you move on to the next subject. We just talked for an hour today as a coaching staff on all the different possible 5-man combinations. So this is not a clean, clear look right now, and especially without Moses, so that adds another part to the equation. The one thing I know is I feel very comfortable playing 12, 13 different guys. I don't think you'll see 12 guys. I think you could see 11. There may be a handful of guys because of these combinations that I'm talking about. You may get 3 guys who play 8 minutes apiece. That's in play. But where you don't want to get stuck is with lineups that don't make sense because you're trying to pigeonhole a guy who really deserves to play because of the training camp he's had. Pigeonhole 2 guys who don't fit into the lineup because they both deserve it. And then all of a sudden you don't have enough ball handling or you don't have enough shooting or enough defense, whatever it is. And So early on in the season, we have to figure out those combinations. And like I said, the possibilities are endless, but it's not perfectly clean either.
Combinations being everything. I know that's something that you've been very clear about, and this might be a dumb question, but is that something that you have learned over time as a coach, instead of just seeing it as talent on paper and being like, no, it has to be the right combinations and the right pieces to actually make the puzzle fit?
Well, there are no such thing as dumb questions, unless Raymond is asking them. No, I've heard him. I ask a bunch of dumb ones. You guys have never asked a dumb question. So the fit, the fit is everything. In fact, I was focused so much on, ripping Raymond that I forgot your question. There's dumb answers, and this is one of them. So I beat you to it. So
just if that's something that you've learned over time as a coach, that the combinations, the fit is what's most important, and not just purely looking at talent on paper.
Yeah. And look, I was blessed my first 5 years coaching here with two-way combinations in the starting lineup. And coming off the bench, it didn't take very long to figure that out. The best teams generally have, a clear-cut top 7 or 8, and the coach doesn't have a ton of decisions to make. You saw that last year with us.
I'm going to real quickly, really just for a brief moment, jump in here and maybe push back on Steve Kerr in the sense that after his first 5 years, those first 7, 8, 9 were not set in stone. They were absolutely set in stone in 2022, 2023, which was the first time I ever criticized this man. It wasn't until that moment, and it wasn't a huge surprise, because for the first time in his tenure as head coach of the Warriors, he actually had to make some difficult decisions. Well, by his standards, in the year after the Warriors won the title, Bob Myers envisioned Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga having much bigger roles in year 2. Steve Kerr didn't agree with that. And it's led to 3 years of tinkering, of experimenting, when the clear-cut, obvious answer was always right in front of him. I digress. Let's hear Steve Kerr finish up. Again, a very insightful Q&A here regarding his mentality when it comes to rotational decisions.
First, we were 25 and 26, I think, when we got Jimmy. Had a million different starting lineups. Nothing was clear. We had a lot of one-way lineups at either end. Once we got Jimmy, we settled in. We go 23 and 7. We had the same starting lineup if we were healthy over and over again. And it worked. And there's still factors, though, right? I don't want Draymond guarding the 7-foot guys for 82 games.
Me neither.
So I want him starting at the 4 sometimes. The last 30 games last year, he was at the 5. For 82 games, that's tough. So we're not going to do that. We will do it sometimes where he's starting at the 5, but others, we'll start Al, we'll start QP, we'll start Trace, we'll start a traditional 5 next to Draymond, but that's going to be determined by how we're playing, by who's available, all that kind of stuff.
There you go. So, and again, it was just, you don't hear Kerr opening up that much about his thinking. And you also I don't recall ever hearing him come out and just say the first 5 years of his tenure, the decisions were not difficult. Yeah, no shit. But again, the decisions, the second 5 years outside of 2019-20, the 15-win season, that shouldn't have been difficult either. Again, my opinion on this it's just that, but the decisions I thought were very easy, and Kerr, for whatever reason, did not agree. So now Steve Kerr was also asked about Jonathan Kuminga, Jimmy Butler, their availability, both players dealing with ankle issues. And Kerr was also asked about the starting 5 for the Warriors and Lakers, the season opener. So why don't we hear from Kerr one more time, and then we're going to hear from Draymond Green after that. So this is Kerr talking about the health of 2 of his most important players and who is starting exactly against the Los Angeles Lakers.
You mentioned Jonathan and Jimmy are both upgraded to probable. Did you practice today, or was it light? Or?
Practiced, it was like half court live,
Okay.
just, scheme stuff, getting ready for the Lakers. And, so it wasn't a full scrimmage,
practice, right.
but it was a taped,
Got it.
live half court stuff.
And you talk about all your lineup options. I don't expect you to reveal it now, but have you settled on a starting lineup yet, or is that going to literally be decided, tomorrow?
I have decided who's going to start tomorrow, and I will not be sharing.
That's what I figured.
All right. So, and again, I hope no one is blaming Steve Kerr for not revealing the starting five. I will support a coach trying to maintain a competitive edge always and forever. So what we do know for certain in terms of the starters in the season opener, Stephen Curry goes without saying. Jimmy Butler goes without saying. Draymond Green goes without saying. Brandon Podziemski is going to be the fourth starter. And again, that's a polarizing decision, myself included in that debate, because I don't think Podziemski should be the starter on this team. But this team is also very shorthanded. So it's possible he's starting because Moses Moody's out. Side note, Moses Moody is not fully recovered yet from the strained calf. He's going to miss the season opener. His status for the second game of the season, Thursday at home against the Nuggets, to be determined. And then DeAnthony Melton is injured. Who knows when we're going to see him? Seth Curry is not even signed. So, he's not going to be with the team until allegedly November 11th. That's why I've read a few places that November 11th is the earliest date the Warriors can re-sign Seth Curry to be a permanent part of the team this season. So, in a situation like this, it could just be a by committee decision, although I think we all can comfortably say that Brandon Podziemski is a fave of Steve Kerr's, and him starting is not very surprising. Who is that fifth guy? We're going to find out. My guess would be Al Horford, though. And a huge reason for that is what Draymond Green has to say. And the Draymond Green clips are from yesterday. This was Draymond Green met the media Sunday following practice. Steve Kerr's comments coming on Monday today. And Draymond, I think you're going to love what he has to say about Al Horford. They're still figuring it out. I'll let you hear it from Draymond. But the part that at least excited me is Draymond giving effusive praise to Al Horford for his defense. And do not forget that the Warriors' defense is a massive, hugely important variable for all their success. Yes, the offense is lethal, but you ain't winning shit without an elite defense. And the Warriors have always had that in their championship runs. How's Al Horford going to look in that mix? Why don't we hear from Draymond Green, team captain, who met the media again yesterday and discussed a lot of things. In this case, Al Horford and what he's going to bring to the table with Draymond defensively.
Those probably ideal combinations is probably when you're out there with Al. When you're out there with Al, what do you need to do on offense? Where do you need to be to make it work?
I'm still figuring that out, honestly. I think that's what it's about, right? Like when you say the possibilities and see some lineups that can work, but also where they can go, we're still figuring each other out. We're still figuring out what's best. We're still figuring out, who's playing the trail spot, who's getting to the corner, who's getting to the dunk. We're still figuring all that stuff out. What I will say is I always take it up on myself to be the one to figure it out. I don't want anyone else to have to figure that out. I don't want Al trying to figure out, what space should I be in? I'll rag my brain to figure out where I should be, and kind of fill in around everyone else. So that's a work in progress, but defensively it's exciting. I think we have a great chemistry defensively where, sometimes it can allow me to just roam. And I can be really, really, really dangerous when I'm just roaming around, So he cover up a lot of mistakes. And then also me adjusting my mindset and knowing, I don't have to cover up every mistake, right? Because all of a sudden, if you're me and you're trying to cover up every mistake and Al's there to cover up the mistake, now you got two people in one spot, and that's going to put our defense at a disadvantage, And so selfishly and unselfishly, I have to figure that out and knowing, all right, you don't have to cover up everything because Al's going to cover that too and kind of fill in where I need to fill in there. So it's a lot of figuring out, but it's fun. I enjoy it. It's like a chess match. You putting the piece there, move my pawn, or get my bishop out like that. It's kind of a lot like that, So I enjoy it, but like I said, what's exciting about it is I know once we figure it out, it's dangerous. And while we're figuring it out, we're still pretty good. So it works.
You said you're still figuring it out, but how much progress do you feel like you've made since just the beginning of training camp in terms of learning how to play with them or getting to play with them? Do you feel like you're close to figuring it out, or?
Well, I think, I like to think of myself as a pretty smart basketball player, and Al's smart as hell, so, you'll hear from time to time guys say, man, that guy is easy to play with. Al's an easy basketball player to play with, and so it's not like it's like rocket science figuring it out, It's more about comfortability, like where are you more comfortable? Are you more comfortable on the right side or left side? Are you more comfortable butter break in the corner? It's figuring nuances out. It's not necessarily figuring out the overarching theme of what we're doing. You're kind of figuring out the little nuances, which, if I'm honest, is not something that Steve can really figure out because that's y'all figuring out on the court, and it's like a chemistry that you're figuring out. So I think we've made a lot of progress since the start of training camp. But like I said, it takes time to get to know a teammate and figure out their nuances, figure out where they like the ball, Is it a bounce pass? Is it throw it up in the air, right? For certain teammates, And so it's just figuring out little stuff like that. And that stuff, like I said, it just takes a little time. We haven't had enough time to quite figure it out, but we're figuring it out, and it won't take long.
And again, Draymond emphasizing that the figuring it out part defensively is not an issue. I love the sound of Draymond Green playing the metaphorical free safety defensively, meaning he's not going to be just stuck to the hip with whatever opposing team's big is out there because no one else can defend him. Look, in the chat, where is it? It's right here. Chong Vang 5094 writes, I'm having a hard time getting over that the Warriors are old and they're small. Hopefully they can be better than what I'm imagining. Look, your worry is not limited to just you, okay? You're not alone in that sentiment. And what this season, at least to me, is going to come down to is when the Warriors have a lineup out there, and we're probably going to see this lineup a lot, and the lineup includes, again, Steph, who's 37, turning 38, Jimmy Butler, who turned 36 already, I think in August. Draymond, who is 35, he's turning 36, I think in March. Al Horford is already 39 years old. That player option next year at 40. It's good for him, not good for the Warriors. And then it's whoever the fifth guy is, and that fifth guy could be someone like Buddy Hield, who's in his 30s as well. A lot of this season is going to come down to whether or not these guys look old out there. If they do, yes, the Warriors are in deep shit. Armando Laura and I have been putting off really having a full show discussing that harsh reality no one wants to think about that is very plausible. But we're going to hope. The optimist in me is going to say, that's not going to happen this year. And the aging before our eyes possibility is not going to happen. Am I being delusional? We'll find out. I hope not. But we'll see. Now, and again, the good news is with Al Horford being out there, you got Draymond playing the 4, his natural position, a position you want him at. Thank goodness Steve Kerr is aware that he overused his little big man, because that would have been brutal if Kerr was talking up like, hey, we're going to play him another we're going to play Dre another 50 games at the center position this year. What? Thought I had one more sound clip that I was going to play, but maybe not. Maybe I already played all of them. Yeah, I think that's it. So, and then in the chat, There was also Portola45 is asking, is Seth Curry still practicing with the team when the media is not looking? Not at Chase Center. If that's happening, it's somewhere where no eyes are looking, because that would be illegal. That would be circumventing CBA rules. Seth Curry cannot officially, formally practice with the team. So again, if that's happening, it's off the record. How do you pronounce that? Odawake is asking, what are the keys to the game tomorrow? Good question. A huge key of this game is going to be the Warriors' ability to shut down Luka Doncic, a man who allegedly, supposedly cut back on the cheeseburgers and lung darts, washing it down with a nice cold sud. And he replaced that with protein shakes, hours spent at the gym. Or maybe he just found a shortcut and lost weight. I don't know. He looks good, though. And the Warriors, again, that's going to be the mission. Slow him down. Steven Jackson, by the way, who I hope to have on this show at some point sooner than later. Matt Barnes has been my primary target for months now, and I hope he comes on soon. I think that's going to happen first, and then Steven Jackson will follow. But Steven Jackson came out and said that the Warriors can win the title this year. Essentially, I think that's the gist of what he was saying. If they roll with a lineup of 5 players that he loves, and that lineup, if I'm not mistaken, was Steph. Steven Jackson envisions Jimmy Butler at the 2. Oh, find a way to get into Steve Kerr's ear with that. Jonathan Kuminga at the 3, Draymond at the 4, Al Horford at the 5. Steven Jackson looks at that lineup and thinks to himself, that's a title-winning lineup. I have a hard time saying no. Again, age is going to play a huge part in that. We shall see. Portola45 saying that the OKC is going to sweep the old guys this season. And this is where I'm going to push back a little bit, because don't forget, the Warriors winning 2 of 3 against OKC last year. The one loss Stephen Curry did not play in, and the Warriors still almost won that game, largely because of the play of their youngsters, including Jonathan Kuminga, Moody, Podziemski. So I'm not as down on the Warriors versus OKC as you may be. But the keys to the game, and I want to pull up real fast a few other names from the Lakers roster pertaining to what the Warriors have to do. That's a great question that you asked. I'm actually glad you did that. No one ever likes to chat about what a team, in this case the Warriors, what they have to do to actually pull off an individual regular season win. The Lakers, this is what their expected starting 5 is going to be tomorrow. Luka at the point, Austin Reeves sharing the backcourt with him. And side note, that's a huge backcourt. And one thing the Warriors did last year, and more specifically, one thing Steve Kerr did last year, which I actually liked when they played the Lakers, and this was a switch up from previous matches against LA. Steve Kerr has had this bad habit of putting Stephen Curry defensively on Austin Reeves. I hate that matchup. Steph loses 3 to 4 inches in height, and he's losing 20 to 30 pounds in weight every time he has to defend Austin Reeves. It's blatantly unfair. It's blatantly one-sided. The Lakers, every time Steph is matched up defensively in Austin Reeves, the Lakers look for that matchup offensively almost every possession because they know it's a mismatch. Now, Steph is grossly underrated as a defender, so he does okay, but there's only so much you can do when you're 6'3", buck 90, 200, taking on 6'7", 220, 230. Austin Reeves is a big boy. And thankfully, especially in the last game of the season last year between the Warriors and Lakers, the one that the Warriors won, and Kuminga, I think, had a really good game that night. Steph was not matched up on Austin Reeves. And I don't know if that was a Jerry Stackhouse decision. I don't know if Steve Kerr just finally, came to his wits and realized, oh yeah, this doesn't work. I don't want to see that. I'd rather have Steph guarding Luka than Austin Reeves, even though that's a pretty difficult matchup as well. But I've seen those two. If my memory serves correct, Steph does okay matched up against Luka. And I'm not saying he does bad against Austin Reeves, but Austin Reeves is a pest, man, and he's big. Now, the Lakers are going to have a huge lineup. So when I'm done reading to you who the starting 5 is going to be, maybe it is going to be Austin Reeves, because who else are you going to hide Steph on? And this discussion is going to be really interesting when the Warriors play even larger teams like the Rockets, the Spurs. So the Lakers, just to finish up, Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, who's a big boy himself. And what I'm looking at here has Rui listed as a small forward. If he was on the Warriors, he'd be a center. That's just how stark the contrast is between how Steve Kerr looks at rotations and everyone else. And DeAndre Ayton is going to be Al Horford's matchup. And thankfully, the Warriors have Al Horford for a game like this because DeAndre Ayton's a big boy. DeAndre Ayton is also he's not, I wouldn't think of him as a high IQ basketball player. So I think that they can handle him. And in the preseason matchup, Al Horford thankfully did not go off in that matchup. But so LeBron's out. So the fifth player is likely going to be either Jake LaRavia, Jared Vanderbilt, maybe Gabe Vincent. I'm guessing it's going to be one of those three. I haven't seen how Marcus Smart looks yet in a Lakers uniform. I think they held him out of the preseason. Correct me if I'm wrong with that. I didn't watch every Lakers preseason game, but if Marcus Smart is playing, that's the obvious choice for who you put Stephen Curry on defensively. If Marcus Smart is not playing, I'm going to hide Steph on whoever is filling in for LeBron James in that starting lineup. If it's Gabe Vincent, fantastic. Steph can easily handle that. If it's Jake LaRavia, he's a bigger boy, but Steph's handled bigger boys, and Jake LaRavia is not as skilled defensively as Austin Reeves. If it's Jared Vanderbilt, who is long and tall, but he's not elite offensively, so you can kind of stash Steph on him and not be too concerned. I just don't want to see Steph on Austin Reeves. I've seen that way too many times to pretend that repeating that over and over again is somehow going to produce a different result on like the 15th time they play. Dank's writing in the chat, Steph is 6'3". I don't know why you wrote that. That's what I said. But yeah, you're right. So yeah, and Jill Espina in the chat, welcome back, by the way. Missed you all summer, writing that the Lakers lineup is interesting. I agree. I also feel very good about the Warriors' chances. I would have felt good about the Warriors' chances if the Lakers had LeBron. I feel better without it. And the Lakers, and here's why. I'll just spell it out for you. The Warriors, under Steve Kerr's mantra, his ethos, if you will, like to beat teams with speed, right? His entire offense is read and react. His Steve Kerr's impact on the Warriors when he first came was do not hold that ball. Get rid of it super fast. And the reasoning behind that, the philosophy behind that is the defense cannot, it's literally impossible for the defense to keep up with a ball that's constantly moving. Passes are going to be faster than an individual playing defense. And so if you're constantly passing it, if you're constantly moving off the ball, you're going to catch the defense making mistakes. You're going to constantly be putting them on their heels. And the Lakers are not a fast team. The Lakers are not a team that's going to blow you away with speed. Are they athletic? Yeah, for the most part. I mean, they're not the most athletic team. Are they big? Yeah, sort of. The Warriors have handled bigger, but they're not fast. And the Warriors should take care of business for that reason alone. I love the Warriors +3. I love the Warriors money line. Warriors -2, I feel good about, not great about, but that's the line for tomorrow's game. And in terms of just a breakdown, that's what I see. I think the Warriors' speed is going to cause way too many issues for the Lakers. I also don't see the Lakers having enough shooting to match up points-wise. Rui Hachimura is a good, not great three-point shooter. DeAndre Ayton does not shoot threes. Jake LaRavia, Jared Vanderbilt, Marcus Smart, not elite three-point shooters. When Jackson Hayes is in there, you sure as shit don't have to worry about him spacing the floor. Gabe Vincent is elite as a three-point shooter, but I don't know how many minutes you're going to see with him out there, and he's one dude. Luka Doncic is obviously elite. Austin Reeves is obviously a legitimate threat from the three-point line, but it stops there. And the Warriors usually have their biggest problems against teams that can roll out 4, 5 shooters that can space the floor at a at a relative spacing that causes issues for the Warriors defense. And it creates a bit of a lack of equilibrium, if you will, between the offensive defensive sides of the ball. So I feel good about the Warriors tomorrow night. They played the Nuggets Thursday. That's a whole other beast. And if anything, this Warriors-Lakers opener is intriguing me in terms of what we should expect for that Thursday heavyweight fight. This is a crazy start to the season for the Warriors in terms of strength of schedule, but I love it. But why not get tested right off the bat? Why not see some high-quality hoops being played between the Warriors and their opposition? I'm so giddy about all of this. I am ready. And then there's Devlin in Limbo in our chat who's taking an extreme position that I don't disagree with, which is that the Lakers squad is horrendous. Look, some people think the Lakers are going to be a playoff team, like not even the play-in, like an actual, when the regular season ends, playoff team, like a top 6 team. I do not see that at all. The West is so deep that the Lakers, to me, at best are a play-in team. I don't see them even making the playoffs. I really don't. Because look, Luka Doncic is amazing, but if I remember correctly, I know the last year he was in Dallas, they made the finals. They didn't win, but they made the finals. The year before that, though, didn't they miss the playoffs entirely? I mean, Luka Doncic is not a guarantee on his own to lead your team to greatness. And I don't see him doing that in LA next year. Maybe years after, who knows? But I do not feel great about the Los Angeles Lakers in the 2025-26 season. And that's a good thing for your Golden State Warriors. So let me see if there's anything else in the chat I missed. I'm really elated that we're back. Again, tomorrow night, the game is on NBC. The Michael Jordan interviews, by the way, are reportedly going to start during halftime of the first game. It's going to be a doubleheader tomorrow in terms of the season opener. So you have the Lakers and the Warriors playing in the second game of a doubleheader. The first game is going to be the Rockets at the Thunder. And at halftime of that game, Michael Jordan is going to start, I believe, a weekly segment where he's going to provide insights. And I'm excited for that. I'm bummed that it's not going to come during the Warriors-Lakers game, but that'll be during halftime of the first of the doubleheader. And again, that's Rockets and Thunder. And then at 7 p.m., the main event. We're going to go live. It should be around 9:30, 9:40-ish when the game will end, and we will be live right away to provide coverage, to bring the audience in. I think Mark Haynes will join me for at least a part of the show tomorrow. Ryan Leong joins us for the home games. So for the road games, you're stuck with me. But hopefully that's not the worst thing in the world. Let me see if there's anything else in the chat that I need to address. Sugar Sweets 7078 saying, bring Gary Radnich on. Radnich doesn't do anything with anybody. He's enjoying retirement. He is hiding. Otherwise, I would. The invite is open. Uncle Gary, if you're out there actually watching, I doubt that. But if you are, the invite is always open, sir. And side note, Gary Radunich is very well-versed, very knowledgeable when it comes to basketball. He played a D1, I believe. Where at UNLV, I think. Let me see. Anything else in our chat? BC writing, enjoy watching two guys pushing 40 finally go over the geriatric cliff. I know one of those guys obviously is Al Horford. Who's the other dude? Because LeBron James is hurt and will not be playing. So who's the other pushing 40 player that you're referring to there? If you don't mind answering that real fast. Young West 79 saying good knowledge. Those are fun. If you remember those old days, what a few people in our audience are referencing is I was Gary Radnich's producer from I think 2003 to 2006 approximately. Maybe it was 02 to 05. And in the 9 o'clock hour, they had what I still believe was the greatest hour at radio, sports radio anyways. And that was Gary Radnich and Tony Bruno just basically going off script for 30 plus minutes without even commercial breaks. It was the only time of day that station management would allow such a thing. And it was strictly because of how good the content was. And they would always bring us producers on and be a part of the frivolities. And Dank saying the olden days, aka the golden days. Yeah. And Radnich is retired, man, and he's enjoying it. He made a pretty penny and then some during his illustrious media career. He was one of the last guys that for being a TV anchor and or a radio host was a millionaire. I don't think you're ever going to see that again. Those millions are now coming to the very top end YouTube streamers and podcasters like the Joe Rogan types. So good for Uncle Gary. And yeah, I'm sure he's doing fine out there, living up in his mansion on what's that neighborhood in San Francisco that it's a rather esoteric part of the city. It's near Twin Peaks. A lot of really nice homes up there. I can't remember what the name of that small neighborhood is, but that is where Young West bringing up Tony Bruno and Radnich. Anyway, so Gary's doing fine, but and I think he's on Twitter. He like pops in with a tweet like once a year. Is Sean in the chat saying that Luka led the Mavs to the Western Conference Finals 2 of the last 3 seasons, but one what was that 1 year though? I mean, you're right. 2 of the 3 years, and I think one of those years he led him to the finals before losing to the Celtics, right? But what about that other year? And I don't think he was hurt that season, but Dallas just sucked. And my whole point is Luka alone doesn't guarantee jack shit. It doesn't. I feel good about the Warriors tomorrow. I really do. Sometimes I do a show like this and I might have an opinion. I might be uncertain about something. And then by the end of the show, I come to a conclusion. And I have come to a conclusion that I did not come to at the start of the show that I now am at the end of the show. I hope I'm making sense. And that is, I feel great about the Warriors, much more so now than I did 45 minutes ago. So we shall see. Warriors -2. That is the line. I feel good about it. And yeah. Oh, and Young West adding, thank you, Black 59 Razor, saying St. Francis Woods. Yes, that is the St. Francis Wood. I don't know if it's plural, but yeah, that is Radunich's neighborhood. Well, just one classic bit I'll share with the audience here before I go, pertaining to Gary Radnich. One of my many jobs in those days, in my early days at KNBR, when I was strictly a producer, was going to Warriors Media Day and giving players and coaches scripts so that they could read whatever it is that I wrote. And I was given like complete creative freedom. It was awesome. And every producer got to do that for their shows. They'd give me the script and I go down there and record all the players. And side note, that the point of this little spiel is not to tell you that I was shocked to learn a lot of NBA players are illiterate, and I really hope that's not true today. But back then, it was an eye-opening experience to be someone in their early 20s, just borderline starstruck at Warriors Media Day, and I'm giving scripts to players who go, Somi to Kinber, like I'm not making this up, man. There are legitimate professional athletes who are literally illiterate. I'm not going to name names today. I think I've done that in the past anyways, and sorry about that. But my point is, I would go to these Warrior Media Days. I'd sometimes hang out with Don Nelson. Nelly would typically be smoking a stogie outside, and he talked to anybody that would take a few minutes with him. Incredible individual, man. Nelly's energy was always positive and jovial, and the dude's like a jokester. The scripts, though, the reason why I mentioned this story is because I'd write these crazy scripts, and I would always make sure that the players would mispronounce Gary Radnich's name because I knew it would get a rise out of them. So if you're an old school KNBR listener and you remember this, so I would have players read, for example, I'm trying to think of one player who I had this to, like Monte Ellis. Like, hi, this is Monte Ellis. Now here's Gary Radnich on KNBR. But I misspell Gary Radnich's name intentionally. So they go, here's Corey Radunich. And Gary would never he would never like roll with it. He'd always take offense. I never told him that I was intentionally misspelling his name and writing these scripts intentionally. And he would get so riled up at these players not being able to properly pronounce his name. Like he took offense to it, man. The guy had a massive ego, but I was getting a rise. Chardal, before we go, you're here. How was your birthday?
Hey, my birthday was really good.
Good.
I went to Santana Row. I went to this El Jardín tequila bar. It was this they had a live DJ playing music. We were sitting in a really good portion of the restaurant. We were sitting back in the back of the restaurant.
Cool.
We ordered a lot of appetizers, a lot of chicken flautas, a lot of Mexican bean dip, a lot of fun stuff.
Good.
We had a cake too for my birthday, so that was really good. I had all my friends there with me.
Nice.
So that was really good. I mean, I'm so glad that my 20s are over, man. I want to go into my 30s now. I want to see how my
you
30th birthday
No,
will
you
be.
don't. First of all, you're
Will be.
29. You're not 30, right?
No, my 20s are over, and I'm moving into my 30s.
But I thought this was your 29th birthday.
This is my 29th. I'll be turning 30 next year.
Right. So you have one more year of 20. So what's your rush? Enjoy your 20s, brother.
I love my 20s, and I'm enjoying it to the fullest.
Good. And by the way, Dank mentioning SGA Sports Talk. That's your YouTube channel. How many subs are you up to?
I'm at 475 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 500.
Yes, you are. Okay, let's help Shardall out. Go to SGA Sports Talk and subscribe, please. Shardall, how are you feeling about the Warriors and Lakers tomorrow?
Hey, Si, I'm a big fan of your YouTube channel, by the way.
Thank you.
I'm a big fan of all the content videos that you create on the channel. I wish you get a lot of great celebrity, a lot of great special guests coming on the show with you.
Did you see the short? Did you see the YouTube short that we released yesterday? With it was from the Tim Hardaway show we did over the summer, and Hardaway was sharing. We were talking. The clip talks about one of the greatest what ifs in NBA history, and that was the 94-95 season when Tim Hardaway blew out his ACL.
I didn't watch that. I didn't watch that that clip. But if you could find that clip and send it to me, I would really.
Go ahead, Shardall. Go ahead, Shardall.
So yeah, I'm so glad that the preseason is over, man. The real fun begins on October 21st against the Lakers, man. I mean, like, I am so excited. I can't wait to see Luka out there on the court. Luka is a star in his own right. I mean, that guy is a baller, man. He knows how to play. He knows how to play basketball. Luka Doncic.
Yes, sir.
So what are your thoughts on the game tomorrow? I mean, it's the first time it's on national TV on NBC. So the first time the game is going to be airing on national television worldwide. Everybody all over the world can watch the game tomorrow. So how do you feel about the game tomorrow?
I feel great about it. I'm so happy basketball's back, and I think the Warriors are going to win. How about you? How do you feel?
I'm so excited for the season opener tomorrow against the Lakers. I mean, it's going to be a fun matchup. These two teams are rivals of each other. Lakers do not like the Warriors. The Warriors do not like the Lakers. Every time they play against each other, there's a lot of hostility breaking out between both of these iconic franchises. Two of the most iconic franchises in the NBA right now, the Lakers and the Warriors. Kobe Bryant played for the Lakers. Magic Johnson played for the Lakers. Rick Barry played for the Warriors. Wilt Chamberlain played for the Warriors.
And Lakers.
Hey,
Shardall, really quickly here. We do have Warriors and Lakers tomorrow, and that's a massively huge game. But I want to look. We have someone who wants to join after you. Sean is in the chat waiting, and I bring this up because Shardall, you are so respected on this program that the honor of being the last guest will always go to you. I will not make an exception on that. So Sean, please don't be offended, but Shardall has the floor. He's always going to be our cue to finish up. And Sean, please join us tomorrow night. But I can't offend Shardall, man. Or Shardall, that's how much I respect you. What do you think about that?
That's an honor, man. Like, that is the greatest honor you could have, to make me the first caller. You always make me the last caller, but I get to be the first caller for today, which is
last.
I love you so much for that.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. And again, I know you asked to be the co-host, and I apologize for letting you down. But I feel like we have a really good thing here, and I don't want to mess it up. And I want you to know I do respect you, and that's why, even though I'm not going to give you like an hour with me, I will make sure you will always be the last voice. And Shardall, tomorrow night, when I start promoting our merch store, we're going to have some new items. You're going to be part of the commercial. So stay tuned for that. All right.
I can't wait for that. Seriously.
You're part of this, dude.
You're
For
making
better or
you're
worse,
making
you're part of it.
you're making my day right now.
Good. I'm
And I
very
love
happy.
and I love that about it because I want something to make my day. I know I have my cat. I know I have my cat to keep me happy and keep me uplifted and upgoing.
Why?
I love that. No, my cat is there. That's
Oh, he is Buster Posey, right?
no Buster.
Or just Buster. You don't call him Buster Posey. It's just Buster.
No, it's named after Buster Posey.
I know, but you don't actually have the Posey.
No, I don't have the Posey in there.
What do you think about this new Giants manager that's reportedly going to get hired? The guy from Tennessee.
I love it, man. Like, I don't know too much about the guy. He's a new guy coming in the organization, but I'll get to know him more better. But he's a really good guy. What are your thoughts on the new manager for the Giants?
I don't have thoughts on baseball. I just observe and I ask other people like you who have better opinions than me. But did you watch the Niners game last night? Mac, baby. QB controversy. Your thoughts?
Mac is back.
Mac is back, but Purdy's back too. What do you think is going to happen?
There's two Macs in the Bay Area.
Who's the other one?
Mac Jones and Macklin Celebrini on the Sharks. Two Macs in the building on Beria Sports.
And actually, three of them then, because Macklin's dad is the head of medicine for the Warriors. So we got three Macs. What do you think about TFN in our chat? TFNC2173 writing, no one on the Warriors but Jonathan Kuminga can slow Luka Doncic down. I feel like Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green would like to have a word in that conversation. I also have a hard time pushing back. Chardal, what do you think?
I think JK is a good I think JK can slow Luka down.
Me too. Yeah.
So I have a question for you. So at the Warriors open practice, Alex Tuhey from Australia sung Wonderwall. Do you think he's a horrible singer? Because I asked one of my friends if he could rate the singing of Wonderwall by Tuhey. He said that Alex Tuhey is one of the worst singers, and he should stick to basketball and stop singing.
No call. I mean, look, it was a part of a bit, right? Wasn't it like a rookie hazing thing where they made him sing to the whole Warriors practice day crowd? No judgment. I'm not judging Alex Tuhey for that.
I think Jimmy Butler and LJ Cryer, the new rookie, they sang Shabuzi. I think that was way better. I think that Jimmy Butler and LJ Cryer are much better singers than Alex Tuhey.
Well, look, they're not getting paid to sing; they're getting paid to play basketball. So all good there.
So Alex Tuhey will not be playing in the season opener against the Lakers, and Moses Moody will not be playing the season opener.
Correct.
I really wanted to see Alex Tuhey play.
Well, don't expect that this year at all. He's not even on the Warriors roster. I think officially, I think he's a two-way player. Is what they're going to do with him, or if they have already given him that assignment. But I don't know if you're going to see much Alex Tuhey this year. Do you go to Santa Cruz and watch G League games down there?
I don't go to Santa Cruz and watch G League games, but I went to the one in it was the All-Star weekend up in San Francisco, and the mascot of the Santa Cruz Warriors was there, and I got to take a picture with him and autograph.
Were you upset? Were you at that Sharks game where the scoreboard accidentally gave support to immigration's enforcement?
Man, I wasn't at the game. It was on my birthday, by the way. When I saw that message, I was offended because it was Mexican Heritage Night, so they were honoring Mexicans. And then I saw that that message that was inadvertently put on the in-arena scoreboard. I'm like on my YouTube channel, I don't allow any xenophobic or hateful language, and if anybody says anything xenophobic or hateful on my channel, I will kick them out.
And look, I think it was an honest mistake. You're absolutely right that it was just.
I don't tolerate any on my YouTube channel. I do not tolerate any politics. No mention of politics on my channel at all, because I don't know, somebody might disagree with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I do not agree. When people come on my channel, do not talk about politics on my channel. Say that for another. Make your own show about politics if you want to talk about it. Don't come and talk about my channel.
You're getting close to 30 and you're growing up right before our eyes.
And I'm gonna if I see anybody putting it on my channel, I'm gonna get a bunch of mods to permanently ban those people from my channel forever, so they never ever come on my channel.
Is Sean, who got bumped because of you, Shardal, is taking the higher road here and telling you happy Diwali, Shardal? What's your response to that?
So Diwali is a very special occasion in our culture. We really take it to heart. There's a lot of music involved. A lot of great food that we have. I mean, it's just a really good thing, and I really like the culture, and I really like that. I'm heartbroken that the San Jose Sharks are not doing any Diwali celebration this year, because last year they did a South Asian celebration where they had dance performances and food, but they're not doing any Diwali celebration this year for the Sharks.
Why?
Because the Sharks are very international. I don't know why. They're very international. It's a very international team. And like the Warriors do Bollywood night, they have Indian food and all the concourse stands. But the Sharks plan to take a whole different look this year. They didn't want to do a South Asian celebration this year.
Shardal, let's bring it back to the Warriors to wrap it up here. Young West 79 in the chat. Because we don't know officially yet who's going to start for the Warriors tomorrow. We know 4 of the 5 players: Steph, Pajemski, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green. The 5th is a mystery as of now. Young West pulling out a wild card saying, what if it's Buddy Hield? Who do you think is going to start tomorrow? What are your thoughts?
I think Buddy Hield's going to start tomorrow.
Oh, wow. Young West, there you go.
I would love to see Buddy Hield start tomorrow.
Desirio in the chat is saying Will Richard. Oh, you're saying should start, not will start, but Will Richard is another name coming out there. You never know, man. He did start in the preseason. I've seen weirder things.
So who do you think is going to be the starting 5 for the Warriors tomorrow against the Lakers?
I think the 5th's going to be Al Horford. That would be my prediction, but I'm like you and everyone else. I have no effing clue, man. That's just a guess.
I'm going with the Warriors finishing with a 51-31 record, because there's 82 games in the whole NBA season, right?
82, correct.
I'm going them finishing the season with the record of 51-31.
That's a good prediction. I like that, man. I really do.
51 wins and 31 losses.
We've been going for an hour. We're going to be back online in less than 24 hours because it's Warriors-Lakers tomorrow. I'm so excited for that. Are you excited?
I'm so excited. I'm going to be joining you for the post-game show tomorrow after Warriors and Lakers on NBC.
Who's winning tomorrow? Your final prediction.
Warriors are going to win 135-115, and Stephen Curry and Jimmy Butler are going to combine for 70 points together.
There you go. Happy birthday again, Shardal.
Hey, Sai, thanks for wishing me a happy belated birthday. That means a lot to me. It's
you
great.
Want to say goodbye to the audience?
Bye, audience. It's always great coming on.